This is StiltzkinKupo84 with Cat and Fam Gamer TV. I left off at the Alexandria Castle Chapel. We had run through the Beatrix boss battle, and I was sort of unsettled about I hadn't gotten the survival vest from that Beatrix fight. And what I wanted to do was go back and get that. So I have gotten that. I went back and I've had some bandwidth issues today, and so I had some skipping and I had some failed streams that didn't really take the way I wanted. So we've got these. We're back now. What I did was I wanted to first look back at the Tantarian optional boss fight that I had did in the last video, and I decided that the demon mail was not something I wanted to go back for. I didn't even realize that it was, you know, an equip for Steiner and Freya. For some reason, my mind just had thought it was something for Zidane, and then I realized, oh, this is for Steiner and Freya. This is for heavily armored people. So I looked at what does the demon mail teach as far as abilities, and all it teaches is High Tide, and that's literally the only ability it has. So High Tide just lets you get trance faster, and I thought to myself, well, I can get, you know, trance the slow way with Steiner and Freya. I don't need High Tide on them particularly. So then I looked at, you know, what does the demon mail do? Well, it absorbs shadow damage, and it allows you to boost the shadow damage output that you have. So I thought, well, that's kind of useful, and it'd probably be really OP for this part of the game because the defense value is really high. But then I thought, well, I went looking up, you know, how do you get it? What parts of the game do you get it from? And I learned that you could buy it later on in the game at another town, city called Daguerreo, which we won't be reaching in the storyline for quite a while. It's easy to buy there. It's, you know, there's no shortage of supply, and in fact, you can buy it before the optional boss in the game that it's the most useful for. There's an optional boss, and basically this armor makes that boss a little more trivial to fight, and we'll get to Daguerreo before we fight that boss. So there's no real need for me to get that demon mail, especially seeing as the last hour of stream that I cut for YouTube, it was super high stress. It was on a timer. Things worked out just right. I got the Tantarian battle done. I got that Stardust Rod for Garnet really early in the fight against the Mage Twins, so I'm really not sure that things would line up that well if I tried it again. And, you know, my fear is that, you know, even that the intro of the last video that I cut was sort of mangled and sort of had a bad unprofessional start due to the bandwidth problems that I had, I'm just kind of going to leave it because that's a lot of game to go back through and it's stressful and all that. So please excuse the intro on the last video. The rest of the quality was good, though. I went through the video, and after it normaled out, you know, after the first 30 seconds or so, it was pretty normal for the rest of the video, so we're keeping it. The next thing that I did when I went back was I went and got the survival vest from the Beatrix battle, and I got it on the first run. I didn't have any screw-ups, and Zidane actually stole it on the very last round that he was capable of stealing it before the battle timer ran down, as it normally does with Beatrix ending the battle with Clem Hazard. So I thought that was lucky. What was unlucky, though, was, remember that emerald that I kept trying to get off of Freya at some point. I learned that you can't actually get that off of Freya at any point during this whole episode in Alexandria Castle, because every time you go back to Freya's party, it's you and it's Freya and Beatrix, and then Steiner joins in later. There's never any walking around with a character. You never control a character in that party. It's just all cutscenes, and it's heavily scripted. So when you're at this save Moogle here, the very first time that you get to save from the save Moogle, go ahead and unequip the emerald from Freya. You want to do that before the boss battle with Beatrix, because as far as I know, that's the last point in the game where you're able to take the emerald off of Freya. The reason I didn't was because she was 2 AP away from learning White Draw. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if, you know, I could get her to master that ability before I take the emerald off of her, but alas, I will need the emerald in my inventory, whether she has mastered the ability from it or not. So, you know, that's what I've done. I've gotten the emerald, it's in my inventory now, I took it off of Freya. So, I had to go back because I didn't have the emerald. I had the survival vest, I didn't have the emerald, so I had to fight Beatrix yet again, and I failed many, many times off camera. You should be glad that I spared you all that footage, because, I mean, there were instances where I had cast slow on Beatrix with Vivi and it didn't take, and I didn't notice that it didn't take, and then Beatrix, you know, one-shot Vivi, and then so he was down for half the fight, and just all of the wasted steal attempts because of the time that, you know, time lost from not her not being slowed, and I mean, it was really bad. So this last time that I went through off camera and I fought Beatrix, I actually got the survival vest really early in the battle. Not like the first steal or anything like that. It was maybe half a dozen steals in, but I got it so early, in fact, that I was able to switch to straight up dealing damage to Quina, which was great. I mean, not to Quina, to Beatrix, my bad. Quina's not even here. So yeah, I was able to switch to an all-out offense on Beatrix to end that fight, so I was really happy about it. And for this next part of the game, oh yeah, I almost forgot. What I did for that Beatrix fight, just in case you guys are gonna go back for that survivor list yourself, I had the running shoes on Zidane first, because I wanted to get more steal attempts for him. You could say that, you know, Vivi learns auto haste faster because he has the ability up, and that's true. He'll learn it twice as fast, and it's also true that if he's faster, he can get slow out there much earlier in the battle. However, slow is cast one time. Steal will have to be done multiple times over the battle, so you want to have your haste shoes or your running shoes on Zidane anytime you're going straight into a boss battle, so that he can steal real well. No matter who else in your party is learning what, you want to put those running shoes on Zidane before a boss. So I did that, but now that we're done with the Beatrix boss, I went ahead and put the running shoes back on Vivi, and he's learning it. I actually have auto haste equipped as an ability on Vivi right now, so we'll get more Blizzaras, and life is good. So, we're getting we're gonna have ability up on Garnet, and we're getting to learn some things with her. Yeah, looking good. Everything's looking really good. So we're gonna go ahead with the rest of the story here. We're fleeing from the castle after Steiner has went back to aid Beatrix and Freya, and we're gonna fall for this trick again, even though we know what's gonna happen. It sort of makes us feel dumb. But, you know, at least this time we have backup. So this is really cool to see. Here's an ATE of sorts. Who's Garnet? Zidane's new girl? You don't know? He was petrified a long time ago. He might not have ever met Garnet, now that I think about it. And she was just the person we were trying to save. Oh, the game assumes that we called her Dagger. She was called Garnet in the beginning of the movie, the Princess Garnet. So Blank wouldn't understand that we're going to get Garnet when Marcus says Dagger. So that's where the confusion comes, I guess. Okay, but anyway, so Blank says we came here straight from Evil Forest. And it's just the way this is written, that he's here in the nick of time. It's like they went and had him petrified just so they could have him come back here at the nick of time, almost. I mean, it's just awesome. Marcus and Blank are pretty cool. So, this is where the video started bugging out the last time I tried. We reset the modem, and so it should be good. We're not having any technical issues right now, but I actually got this far into the video last time when it cut out on me. We're going to go ahead and go in the Gargan Rue again. Now our plan is to go to Trino from Alexandria. And Garnet is feeling insecure. They have to fight. Sometimes you can't think everything out. You have to listen to your heart. Like when I want you to date me. Because if you think it out, you don't want to be with a thief. It's only when you listen to your heart you start doing the illogical thing. So we were going to Trino. However, there's a roadblock in the way. And just like last time, it's a worm. Now, whether or not this is the same worm as before is up for debate. I don't know if it's just the old worm evolved, or if this is in fact a whole different worm, or the parent of the worm we fought the first time. Regardless, Ralph Imago is a much tougher, updated version of the last worm that we fought. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to steal with Zidane. Ooh, we stole the Adamant vest right off, and that's the item we definitely want. So we're going to steal with Zidane, we're going to cast with Vivi, and then at the end of every round, we're going to go ahead and attack with Garnet. The reason being is because he reacts to physical attacks. Now, if you have more than one physical attack in the round, this is going to come back to bite you. Because when he's coiled up like this, if you hit him again, then he will counterattack with some like earthquake-based magic attack, and that damages our whole party while healing him at the same time. So we only want Garnet to do the physical attacks in this fight. It's not for damage. It's because we want him to react once by becoming compact. And then once he's compact, we don't want to physically attack him anymore. So we're going to be relying on Vivi for like 100% almost of the damage in this fight. We're stealing until Zidane has nothing left to steal. And then every time he becomes uncoiled, we're going to physically attack him with Garnet. And then once Zidane runs out of things to steal, we're gonna then switch to having Zidane be the only physical attacker. So I mean, if you play it like this, he really doesn't even get to attack for the whole fight. As long as you're just you hold Garnet's initiative, or ATB as it were, to the point where he uncoils. Yeah, if you're smart, you can stop him from attacking at all for the rest of the battle. So, word to those who are fighting this later. And Vivi is using a lot of damage, or a lot of MP, I guess I would say. And we're not getting a whole lot of damage in this fight because he's compact, and physically and magically his defenses are good. They become much stronger in his compact state. It's really annoying. I wish his magical defense would stay the same. Of course, then I guess if it did, we wouldn't have this many steal attempts with Zidane, so... I mean, that being said, we do have everything we want from him at this point, so... there's more to steal. I can say that. There's a Phoenix down. I think there's an Oak Staff is what we haven't stolen yet. And we have one... Actually, that's what Vivi's wearing right now. Vivi has an Oak Staff equipped. So... he's gonna go ahead and probably pop an Ether right after this Blazara here. We have to attack with Garnet here. Vivi's gonna get an Ether. We're gonna have Zidane steal again. At this point in the battle, I think right before I ran out of MP and used that Ether, I think Zidane had already stolen the Oak Staff on my first run, and I think right after the Oak Staff popped is when defeat shut off, so that's really aggravating. So some of these items that we steal from the boss, I went and did some more research. I had thought that the 1 out of 128 chance was the hardest steal, and it's not. There's actually a 1 out of 256 chance, so that's doubly hard, and some could argue exponentially harder to steal with those odds. You know, I mean, logically, yeah, you can do that 1 out of 256 times. Doesn't guarantee that if you do it 256 times, it'll happen once. It just means that there's a 1 out of 256 chance that it could happen on any given time. So, some of these items are just really hard to steal. And it could happen that if we're not having good enough steal chances off of this, then I might start having Zidane attack. Oh, well, no, because Vivi broke it down with the magic anyway. So, alright, so we never got the Oak Staff, which is fine because we already have one due to the Chocobo minigame. I got 2 Ethers off camera last time I beat Ralph Magio. That's annoying. Okay, well, I'm 1 less Ether, which is not bad. At least my tape didn't run out. So here is, it's moving again. It's scared because we know that we failed to kill the last worm, and we failed to kill this one too. Worms don't die down here. This is their hood. They come running back at you like wounded gangsters, man. So we've got two Oglops who are... Should we throw this feed switch? No, we don't want that thing stopping here. So our intended destination has been passed in the excitement, and we're taking the long route. We're taking the detour. We're going to the end of the line because that Gargant wants out of this tunnel. And this event pretty much makes the part of the Gargan Roo inaccessible for the rest of the game, I think. So, if not part of it, then all of it. Yeah, what is Mother doing? Come to think of it. In my way you are. Step back, underling. Ooh. Strict orders from the Queen. Oh man, she's mad at him. Well, they did kind of fail. I mean, Garnet was out cold, and they only had 4 people to fight. They couldn't even wrap it down. So there's some new associates to the Queen here. You two are dismissed. Yeah, the princess escaped, not just with her life, but with the pendant. Ooh, that's bad. You should go now. Whatever to do are we? We cannot live without the Queen's backing. We must first tell the guests to come in. Dang. Don't want to be on her bad side. What a view. What a view of the Queen, or of the castle. Is that sarcastic or what? Out of my way, says the boisterous woman. The Queen hath summoned me. Nobody wears pants in the castle. If anybody's daughter is watching, please just wear pants. That is the moral here. Just wear pants. Don't work for a company whose dress code does not allow you to wear pants. That is a life lesson. I'm Lonnie, the best and the most beautiful bounty hunter in the world. Yeah, well, I mean the most obnoxious and boisterous one too, so... Here things aren't going too well. Have you no manners? This is what I get for hiring a lowlife. Ooh. You didn't hire me for my manners. Nope. Nope, she didn't. That's the truth. You have 2 objectives. First is to retrieve the pendant, a national treasure from Prince Garnet. The other is to assassinate the black mage traveling with them. What? Vivi? What is that? He doesn't even know what it is. A soulless golem, our defect, is running free. He's not a defect, he is our friend. Don't know what happened between you and the princess, but what should I do if I meet with resistance? Just get the pendant back from that wretched girl. Wonderful. My axe is pleased to hear that. It won't take long. So basically, yeah, use lethal force if necessary. We're not surprised at this point in the game, honestly. Oh, is it true that a boy with a tail is traveling with the princess? That accursed monkey, I shall give you an extra ward if you take care of him. So we had 2 bounty hunters here, and I've asked if, I've said that we've had 2 characters left to recruit in our journey. It's a spoiler here. Apparently this guy has beef with Zidane, and we don't know why. Reporting the Alexandrian fleet has returned to home waters. Please prepare to depart on the Red Rose. Finally, we leave immediately. So where are they going by ship? That's a good question. Brain has lost the girl. Are they going to chase Garnet by ship then? Huh, where are they going? We can't deal with any of that now, because we're just waking up from being knocked out. Garnet's been knocked out a lot lately. I mean, concussions are serious business. In fantasy, it's just like sleeping. But when you get a concussion in real life, you're not supposed to sleep for sure. We're at Pinnacle Rocks. It's supposed to be near Limbum Castle. Yeah, we've been here. We were on the other side of Pinnacle Rocks when we were reading that tablet about the ghost that lives here, and we got some of the chests that had ethers or elixirs or something like that. Where's Freya, Steiner, and Beatrix? Well, Zidane went to check the area. Don't know about Freya, Steiner, and Beatrix. Do you feel okay? Yeah, we don't know. Once you get on that Gargant, man, and it freaks out over a Ralph-Imago, that's just the way it goes. Everyone knows that. Yeah, because the Tantalus guys were so much stronger than Beatrix to be able to look after her. No, they're with Beatrix. That's the real story. That's why they're okay. It's almost nightfall. They're probably in Trino by now. She wants to borrow an airship in Lindblum. Huh. Rama. Ramu. I say Rama because I'm American. It could be Ramu, I don't know. But Rama sounds like ramen noodles, and so, memories. Seen your name in a book I read about summoning magic. You must be Rama, the thunder god. Do you know that your summon magic destroyed Clara? What? Yes. Odin. Yes, it responded to Brain's orders. Confined while Clara was destroyed. Yep. She sucked it right out of you. True, you were not the one who caused the destruction, but I must ask you, what will you do now? If I were more powerful, if I could use summon magic. I beg of you, please help me. Cause more destruction? Well, no, we didn't have enough MP to use your summon magic. That's why we didn't use it before. Narratively, you were afraid of it? Okay, I guess, but, you know, I would have used it. Many years have passed since I last served a master. Actually, point of debate, if you level up Steiner and Garnet really high in the Trino chapter, you can start to get enough MP on Garnet to start using those summons. But at that point in the game, there's nothing that even makes sense to need that much damage output to use summons against. But you can do it. It'll be fun just to, you know, do it if you want to try it. But then you'll be in a high level campaign at that point. There's no using summons in a low level campaign before the game really wants you to, based on the narrative. So we're going to be doing this test for Ramu, and he's going to hide 5 manifestations of himself, and all 5 pieces of the hero's story are supposed to come together. So that's that. So this is sort of a mini-game, like a quest, a fetch quest, I guess you would say. There's Rama down there, but here's the secret place where he shows up. Nobody thinks to come right back to the place we just left. Although Joseph's death was not reported to his daughter, the manner of his death speaks for itself. This is the story of a true hero. That's hero. You have 4 to go. So we can get an ogre. As far as items, we can get the ogre, which we already have. We can get the mithril vest, we already have. The mithril armor, we already have. But the peridot, we don't have. So that'll be cool to get. Here's a Moogle, and we need to give Monty a letter. A Kupo nut. Ooh, Monty followed some suspicious-looking people. Could that have been Blank and Marcus? I think Queen Brain is up to something, but oh, this is the wrong. This is not the one that read mail. Escaping Evil Forest. Here it is. Were we able to escape Evil Forest? I think this continent is headed for some serious disaster. It might be too late by the time we realize it. Now he has a chore for us. He has a Mog mail for us to deliver, but he's not going to give it to us at this point in time. That's why I kept pressing him for some more dialogue, because I know there's a Mog mail in there. We gotta just get it at the right time, so. We got a mithril vest. And I believe we already have a bunch of these. Yep. So we got a bunch of those, so we don't need those. Ooh. Now here's that animal. A Zangal. Oh, no, we're fighting bats. But anyway, in this sort of area, we can fight the Zangal enemy. I'm pretty sure we'll get a bunch of needle forks. I don't think those needle forks were specific to the opportunity boss battle sort of type of thing that we had in the Festival of the Hunt when we fought the Zangal there, but it could be. I mean, that could have been a boss battle specific thing, but I think it's also possible that we get needle forks off of these random Zangal enemies that we'll find in here. Okay, the fact that they didn't report Joseph's death to his daughter was indicative of their guilt for failing to protect him. In the end, heroes are also human. it's human, so. Alright, so let's see. We'll have this here. Oh. With Joseph's help, the troop defeated the Adamantois in the Snowfield Cavern and acquired the goddess bell they needed to enter the Emperor's castle. It's cooperation. Okay, we got the ogre. Now, I believe that chest... I should have gone this way first, because I believe that chest is over here. Once upon a time, 33 small countries fought together against an empire. One day, a rebel troop visited a man named Joseph who lived with his daughter. Owing a debt to the troop, he gladly accepted their plea for help. They headed for a cavern in a snowfield. 33 small countries, huh? Joseph. Joseph is sort of a biblical name. Huh. Oh. That's not where I thought this led. Can't get back up here once I jump off. Well, we'll jump off anyway, because we want that treasure. That's a mithril armlet. Oh, you know what? Here's Ramu on the 5th one. On their way home, they fell into a trap set by a traitor. Joseph gave his life to save the troop. The troop was left without telling Joseph's daughter Nellie about the tragedy. Well, there was no Nellie in the Bible that I remember. So, who knows? But, you know, Final Fantasy has been known to draw from Christianity, Hinduism, lots of different belief systems for their media. So you found all 5. Let's hear the story. However, the story comprises 4 parts, but we chose 5. One of them doesn't belong, huh? Alright, so... Once upon a time, beginning seems like a obvious choice for beginning. Cooperation, I guess, would be the next one because the troop defeats the Adamantois. And then on their way home, they fell into a trap set by a traitor, so that silence is the 4th one. And historian's explanation, the fact that they didn't report Joseph's death to his daughter was indicative of their guilt for failing to protect him. In the end, heroes are also human. Then, hero, although Joseph's death was not reported to his daughter, the manner of his death speaks for itself. The story is the story of a true hero. I think we'll go with human, just because I like that one better. It actually doesn't matter which one you choose. So once upon a time, 33 small countries, yada yada yada, owing a debt to the troop, he accepted their plea for help. They killed the Adamantois. The troop left without telling Joseph's daughter, and the fact that they didn't tell his daughter was indicative of their guilt. Yeah, I'm good. How come you chose human for the conclusion? People pass down stories of their people to whom they feel an affinity. The people in the story had flaws, as we all do. That is why they became heroes in the people's mind. Well, yeah. I'm away from my country, but I haven't forgotten about my people. Very tense right now. Haha, he's going to become our Eidolon. There are many paths. Remember that you alone choose the path on which you walk. Peridot. That's where we get the Peridot from. You're gone already? Wanted to ask him why he made Garnet play such a silly game. Heroic, human, those are just things people say after the fact. Why try to give meaning to what the main character of the story chose? That's an interesting question from you, main character. I think the old man would have become her eidolon either way. That's the impression I got. Let's go. You're exactly right. It's not what the people say afterward. What's important is being true to oneself. She may not have realized it, but when she wished to learn how to use the summon magic, the summon power returned to her. Summon magic can be used for good or evil. She is still young, but there is room for growth, so I chose her as my master. I'll be watching over her. I hope you two will also protect her. Now, did you choose her as your master before this because you were still in the list of summons that she could summon if we only had the MP to summon? I'm pretty sure Ramo was in the list. He might not have been, I don't know. Look, it's Limblum Castle. Now, you can jump off now, but you shouldn't. You should jump off later. Why? Because that Moogle back here does have Mogmail for us. And wouldn't you know it, that Mogmail doesn't show up until after you get done with the Rama minigame. So, lots of people end up missing this Mogmail. And I'm showing you now. This letter is tattered. It's from StiltzkinKupo. I'm scared. Read along with me. This might be the end of me. What's wrong, Kupo? What happened to Stiltzkin? I want mail, Kupo. Wait a minute. But I thought he had a letter for us. Oh, I think because we're already carrying a letter from Sereno to Mudun? Mudan? Oh, well. I don't know. Anyhow, I think that by reading that we have... You know, we've completed some criteria in the game to get all of the Mogmails that we could during the course of a game. And so yeah, a lot of people missed that one. We got it. Because we bad. Ability, let's see. We're gonna have Garnet learn from the Peridot. Because Vivia has already learned Thundara. And we need to teach Garnet her first summon. This will be the first time in the game where she's got enough MP to probably be able to summon anything anyway, so yay for her. So now, with that done, we are okay to go ahead and jump off. We never saw a Zangol in here. You're just going to have to take my word on it. There are Zangol in here to be found. Now, can you loot this place for needle forks? Maybe. Maybe not. I think you could sit there for a long time and grind at that spot, but it's cut off from any towns or inns or... I mean, you could still use your tents at the save Moogle, but there's no healing springs or anything, so I mean, I don't like to grind there. If you must, you could. That would be good, but I just went ahead and bought all my needle forks at the last town, Claro, where they were available in the shop. That's how I did it. I want to use summon magic to protect everyone. I know you can do it. Look. Is that the red rose? Where are they? Wait. I thought the Red Rose needed... No, the Red Rose is the airship. Okay, so it's not the Navy ship? Wow, they're just taking it to Lindblum, man. I thought Lindblum had the superior air power. I mean, what, shouldn't they have all the airships out by now? Shouldn't they be slaughtering Brain's, airship fleet? I guess there's something to be said for the element of surprise, but Lindblum had already suspected Brain before this in the narrative, so... And for whatever reason, Brain's attack is going exceptionally well here in the beginning. Which it really shouldn't. I mean, this should have been headed off a long time ago. Well, I mean, yeah, the telepods, so they're, you know, they're sending mages directly inside. I guess that is sort of a technological advantage. They didn't have to bust through the gates or anything. Ooh, summon magic afterwards. No. Mother's gonna try to use summon magic again. Ooh. Nope, we don't want to skip this movie. This is another one of the awesomest movies in the game. Ooh. Now that is a terrible way to die. Could you just imagine that being your last sight? Getting swallowed up by that thing? Yeah. That's Atomos. Oh man, every time she interacts with anything, her summons are just destroying things that she holds dear. It's like a curse. It's her mom. You know what this is a good analog for is when your mother uses your credit card without your consent and ruins your credit. Always keep your credit card with you. Don't let your parents ruin your credit before you even get out into the world. Because that's sort of what it'll be like in real life. That's the fantasy real life disconnect there. Can't believe Lindblum. I can't believe you attacked Lindblum. Well, I can. They've been at war for the whole game. Behind the scenes, low key, you know? Prometheus was like a pit stop on the way to Lindblum, sort of. Vivi won't even be allowed in here. Oh crap, Vivi has our running shoes. But I could see why they wouldn't want Vivi here. So we'll just have to shop as if he were in the city, because we'll get him back. He's not gone forever. He's just gonna be out of our party as we're walking around here. So there's a dead mage. Mommy, Daddy, where are you? Please don't leave me here. Kids just without families. People of this country still don't understand. Regent Sid lost the war. Why don't they face the truth? No, I'm not gonna resist you. Do everything to Queen Brain. Armed with the Black Mage Army and the Eidolons, Queen Brain is invincible. Resistance will only bring death. Well, I'm gonna go to a save Moogle and come back and answer you differently. Finish it off. Should I crush its head? How about its chest? Stop it. He's a living creature. What did you say? Brain programmed them to kill, but they're just like anybody else. Lies, they may look human, but that's where the similarity ends. No, they don't look human. I reject your similarity. They look like bipeds, but that's different. They enjoy destroying everything, like wrecking balls destroy buildings. They don't even know we're made of flesh and blood. Well, maybe not in a catatonic stupor. I don't care if it lives. My friend was burned alive by it. Yeah, well, yeah. I could see your callousness there. They didn't even flinch even when one of their own got killed. They made monsters seem docile. Well, they're ultra-powerful mages, you know? Hate to say it, but that's just the truth. We saw the Bobo Bird thing before. Came here on vacation. Can't believe a war broke out. It's too dangerous to walk outside. What am I gonna do? Give me back my money. Dylan. Well, that's a different review from what Lonnie left. I mean, back when Lindblom was a nice town to be in, she gave a terrible review, and this guy unfortunately had to give a terrible review because it was terrible when he was here. So we're gonna give Mudoon this letter from the Flying Moogle Sereno. Oh, Sereno was the one aboard the Red Rose. Thanks for delivering the letter, Kupo. I rode an airship called the Red Rose, but I saw something horrible, Kupo. The idol on Odin's power is terrifying. It destroyed Clara completely. There's not even a trace of the city now. Yeah, that was a really awesome FMV there. Brain is scary. That's crazy. There's a letter for Zidane. Well, I'm having a terrible time finding actors. I'm willing to take anyone who can read at this point. What's his name? That narcissist from Lindblom? I'd even take him. Get him over to my mini theater. We need to get some business. Okay, so we're supposed to go get Lowell, the narcissist. And he has a favor to ask of us. We gotta deliver something to Moonty. So we'll save here. And now we have Lindblom in ruins. Of course, it really sucks for the narrative that the city is in ruins. But for us, well, we still have some shopping to do, and there may be a cotton robe trick involved. So I'll let you know on that as soon as I come back. So there's gonna be a cotton robe trick for sure. I'll do that off camera, and then we'll get into the shops and we'll see what new things we can buy and what new things we can synthesize. The city might be destroyed, but our shopping is not going to be hindered. So that's gonna be cool. Anyway, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification. Get involved in any way you can. This is my daughter's channel. We play Minecraft together, and I'm just trying to put more content out there to support her channel more. And her goal is to be the next child gaming prodigy on YouTube, and she wants to be famous and have a fun job when she grows up. So if you have it in your heart, just go ahead and do all those things. Hopefully she'll be playing Final Fantasy IX on her own, along with some other Final Fantasies and some other video games that she likes that Daddy maybe hasn't even heard of yet. So more to come on that. But for now, I'll just keep doing my Final Fantasy. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.